What's going on, guys? This is Brandon from Team Misplay. About to do a deck profile with Justin here of his Dino Rabbit deck. He top 32'd at Columbus, Ohio at Nationals. So congrats to Justin, and here's his deck profile. Tell us what you got.
Alright, so I ran Dino Rabbit. I felt like it was going to be the best meta call. Not only because of just the dominance that it's had lately, but also because it's such a versatile deck and you can kind of build it to combat the meta, like whatever you feel like you're going to play. I ran more of a bare bones build of Dino Rabbit, and I'll get to that, and I'll let you know like when I get to like monster spells and traps, why I chose to run certain things, why I chose not to run certain things, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. But yeah, I finished in the top 32. It's my first top. It's only my third premier event, so I think it was pretty good. Obviously, we've got the mat right here. This is the top cut mat. But anyway, let's get to the deck. So first we have Dino Rabbit. Obviously runs triple Rescue Rabbit. Got the German secrets. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the pimped out cards for the pimped out decks. Obviously you run the 6 normals, 3 sabers, 3 cobs.
Cobbs?
Yeah, Cobzuls. And then you've got the Tour Guide Sangan engine. This is your rank 3 plays. You know, when you're not making rank 4s, you're making rank 3s, and Tour Guide is a 1 card rank 3. And obviously Sangan searches for Tour Guide or Rescue Raptor depending on what you need. And then 3 Dirac Guaibas. This was it for my monsters. I decided not to run Effect Veilers because I am maining triple Macrocosmos. Also, I decided not to run Gores for the same reason, because I didn't want to dead draw Gores when I had a Macrocosmos up. And I just felt like it'd be better suited to just not have it and possibly dead draw it when I have a continuous trap face up. I didn't run Spirit Reaper in the main. I just felt like it was kind of slow. It was more of a stall card when I wanted to push. And again, I didn't run Effect Veilers because I ran Macrocosmos. And I didn't run Thunder Kings because I felt like Thunder Kings would have been a bad call. It really doesn't stop all that much. A lot of decks really just draw now. They don't really search their deck outside of Inzectors, and Inzectors can just pop your stuff anyway. And there's really, it doesn't stop much. It stops an Exceed, but that's only one Exceed. And in this format, people are constantly making Exceeds or special summoning Chaos monsters, so Thunder King was just kind of thrown out. Next we have the spells. We got Heavy Storm and triple MST. The good thing that I really liked about Dino Rabbit was that it's very immune to side decking. Really there's not 1 or 2 or 3 cards that can really stop Dino Rabbit. What can stop Dino Rabbit is my opponent's back rows. So I like to clear out their back rows before I make my Tour Guide plays or my Rabbit plays. And a lot of the times people would say, well, MST is dead in the Chaos Dragon matchup, but it actually provides a lot of versatility. I can set the MSTs and have my Chaos Dragon opponents kill the MSTs with their Rykos, their Lilas, or their MSTs, thereby leaving my other spells and traps alive. Also, it's really great to be able to cause Light Pulsar to miss timing, especially when you don't have an out for it at the time. You can go MST Torrential, MST Mirror Force, just different things like that. So that's why I like triple MST. Next up, I ran triple Forbidden Lance. Forbidden Lance is kind of spell and trap hate as well as monster destruction, depending on how you use it. I'm running Guaibas, so Lance obviously in triplicate is good, because I can attack a big monster, lance it, get another Guaiba out, and make an Evilzar. Or if I have an Evilzar up, I can attack, and rather than use like Lagia negation to stop Mirror Force, I can just lance the Lagia and save the negation for something else. Next is just general monster destruction, double Soul Taker and Dark Hole. Again, Soul Taker is kind of necessary in this format with Shinings and Light Pulsars. Also, the good thing about Soul Taker is that it'll really deal with problem monsters that are tiny, that have small defenses. So I can hit a Spirit Reaper or a Gelen Duo or a Marshmallow, and Dark Hole just clears the field. Up next, we've got Book of Moon. Book of Moon was good. It's like Forbidden Lance, except you can't activate in the damage step, and Monster Reborn because it's Monster Reborn. I did not run Pot of Avarice because I'm running triple Macrocosmos, and I don't like the Grave. A lot of decks are graveyard reliant now, so if I can take the grave out of the game, then it really helps me push. And it helps me because then they can't recycle monsters out of their grave. And just Pot of Avarice with triple Macrocosmos is kind of the same idea as Pot of Avarice with Effect Veiler. It's not really two cards that work together in the same deck. Moving on to the traps, we've got triple Macrocosmos. I played triple Macrocosmos because I wanted to make sure that I could draw it and make sure that the graveyard was turned off and everything was getting banished as soon as possible. As far as summon stoppers, I had double Torrential. Again, with Macrocosmos and the way that my extra deck was set up, it allowed me to toolbox the banish zone, so I didn't mind if my own cards getting destroyed. Double Bottomless, I do not like my opponent having any monsters in grave, so banishing it is the way to go. Double Warning, this stops the problem monsters, especially the monsters that you can't Monster Reborn, like a BLS or a Chaos Sorcerer, or like a Synchro Summoned monster, because if you negate the summon, they can't reborn it, which is really good. And then I have my attack blockers. I ran double D Prism. Again, everything should get banished. There should not be a grave. And Mirror Force. A lot of people have either sided Mirror Force or decided to not even play Mirror Force at all. I still like Mirror Force because it's really great in the mirror match, especially because I'm running like Dead Macrocosmos. Mirror Force is just a good way to kind of keep the pressure off of me. And the last trap is Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment was the MVP of my day. Anytime I got to play Solemn Judgment proactively, I was winning the game. I don't know how many times this card got shuffled into my opening hand. It worked out really well. Moving on to the extra deck, I've got the rank 3s. I've got one Zen Mains. We all know what Zen Mains does. Because I'm running triple Macrocosmos, I ran double Leviair. A lot of the times Leviair was my Pot of Avarice play, especially because when they would stop the first Leviair, most Dino Rabbit decks only ran one Leviair, so people thought that they were in the clear, and then I would just smack down the second Leviair, and then they would be really worried because now they've got to worry about stuff coming back. And it also allowed me to create more Evilzars than I normally would, or more rank 4s than I normally would, because I was, after the rabbits were shot off, I could start toolboxing the rabbit backs and using them as rank 4s, or start toolboxing off the vanillas or the guivas for more rank 4s and more Evilzars. I ran one Leviathan Dragon. This didn't really do much at all. Pretty much this thing just ate a Bottomless. Tempo kills Acid Golem, kills Utopia, kills Zen Mains. It's a really good card. I enjoyed playing it a lot. It helped me out a lot. One Acid Golem. This card, I made it, but it didn't really do anything. Wasn't game changing. Double Lagia, starting off the rank 4s. Double Dolka. One Roach. Didn't make this card at all during the tournament, mostly because Macrocosmos kept the grave empty. So it was alright. I'm glad I did have it because in case they could get something going, I could smack down a Roach and negate it. One Utopia. Didn't even play it. One Pearl. This thing ate a Bottomless like Leviathan Dragon did. One Maestro. Didn't make it, but it's good to have a rank 4 Zen Mains type monster. And then one Photon Butterfly Assassin. This card right here deals with Marshmallow Spirit Reapers, Gelen Duos, or Arcana Force the Fools very well. Moving on to the side deck for Nationals. I played one Spirit Reaper. It was a great stall card, great way for me to create advantage by being able to draw and just kind of put them in a position where they had to find a way to get rid of this. I played triple Snowman Eater for the mirror match and for heroes. This card right here, it's got a 1900 defense and it's also level 3, so I can make more rank 3 plays. Double Max C for the wind-up match. I didn't actually play wind-ups. I sided this in against Dino Rabbit mirror match, and this card was really just putting in a lot of work. A lot of people didn't want to continue to special summon because they didn't want me to draw a bunch of cards off of it. Double Effect Veiler, again for the wind-up match and also for the Inzektor matchup. In the Inzektor matchup, I actually sided both Effect Veilers and kept in the Macrocosmos. I know they're dead when they work with each other, or when they're in the deck with each other. but it's good to have at least one card. Pretty much I'm just trying to make sure that I have a way to stop Inzectors from going off. I sided double Dust Tornado for degenerate deck matchups like Final Countdown and Burn. I played one Final Countdown deck and Dust Tornado put in so much work. End-phase Dust Tornadoing spells and traps was a good way for them to not be able to play out their stall game. Also against stun decks or hero matchups or even the mirror match is a good way to get rid of their back rows so that I can proactively play mine. Double Chalice. Chalice works like Effect Veiler except in the damage step. I can make a first turn Laggy and attack into a face down monster and just Chalice it. That way I don't have to waste the first rabbit on a Dolka that's just going to get Smashing Ground or Dark Hold next turn. Double Level Limit Area B. I played a few Gravekeeper decks. This thing put in work. Also, Chaos Dragons, they really can't get rid of it. Most Chaos Dragon players side out Raikou game 2 and 3, so all they're really resorting to is their MSTs and their Lilas to hit back rows, and half the time they mill the cards anyway. And if they're unable to attack, then they're unable to kill me off. And then the last card I played in my side deck was Necro Valley. It was a tech card that a fellow friend and teammate of mine, Rudy Munoz, he topped 64 last year's Nats, and he topped YCS Dallas and I believe SJC Austin. We talked about Necro Valley and how good of a card it was in many matchups. Inzectors can't grab bugs out of the grave. Chaos Dragons, Light Pulsar just goes to the grave, doesn't bring anything back. They can't banish anything for their Chaos Monster plays. Red Med has to special summon a dragon from their hand, but they typically run low on their hands anyway. Windups can't continue to loop off because once their hunter's in the grave, they can't bring it back with Rat. So they better be playing either a second hunter or have a way to get rid of the Necro Valley. In top 64, game 3, I opened this in 3 back rows, and pretty much it was just game over. My opponent looked at it and couldn't do anything about it, and he had to really work to make plays and put a monster on the field, and my back rows protected me from those monsters. So yeah, this is probably a good card. This is a card that surprised people, especially after I played it on them. They just couldn't believe Necro Valley was what killed them. They were expecting cards like Macrocosmos and Level Limit, but Necro Valley was not something that they were expecting, and they ran out of ways to destroy back row hate, and Necro Valley really just shuts him down. And again, I don't play with the graveyard anyway. I'd side out Monster Reborn when I sided this in. I don't play Pot of Avarice. All my stuff gets banished anyway because I'm running Macrocosmos. So this was definitely probably the best meta call that I made for Nationals. But yeah, so that was the deck that I ran for the North American World Championship Qualifier 2012. If you have any questions or comments about the deck, please leave it in the comment section below. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. I'll be typing out a report of my tournament. That'll be in the Tumblr, and we'll have a link for that in the description below, so you guys can see exactly how I fared. But yeah, so this has been Justin from the Team Misplay. Again, thumbs up the video, rate, comment, subscribe, and remember, it's not a pro play unless it's a misplay.